This video intended for entertainment and informative purposes only, but the live commentary may not reflect this rating. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everybody, it's Clona Comics Inc. Welcome back to more Pikmin 2. In the last episode, we finished the Emergence Cave in the Valley of Repose, got the sphere chart, I guess, and discovered the Awakening Wood. And in this episode, because I'm sure some of you guys are going to get on me for not tossing Pikmin carrots at that clover, here we go. There we go. Okay. Now, let's head on to the Awakening Wood. Good morning! It should please you that the purple Pikmin are lodged safely in my hull. The confines of my interior seem to suit them perfectly, though they do occasionally tickle me. You stand in the ring of light below me and press A to call the purple Pikmin out. So yes. There is an interface right here, which kind of looks like Windows. And we select it. We can call out our purple Pikmin. There we go. And I guess we'll make the rest of our Pikmin, well, reds, considering the only, excuse me, considering that's the only other thing we have. Now, something you might notice. Even though it says there's already 100 Pikmin on the field, but the Pikmin thing only goes up to 95, just don't worry about that. That will only become relevant until later. Louis, has Olimar instructed you on the peculiarities of the Pikmin creatures? The Pikmin form groups based on the color when disbanded with X. Grabbing a Pikmin with A will also cause them to group them by color. Now for the bonus lesson. After grabbing a Pikmin with A, you can press left or right on the D-pad to swap it for another color. This is the first time you have heard this? Olimar, remember to properly train new employees, even though you didn't even have this ability in your last adventure. So yes, first thing we want to do before doing anything else is we head over here. We have grass. And I'm just going to toss up my purples into it. Grass was in the first game. Basically what will happen is the Pikmin will start plucking the grass, and eventually they may find something of it. I really want to throw just my purples in there just to get a remote scene that I'm sure a lot of Pikmin LPs don't really show. Yeah, see, there we go. They got this. The Pikmin that drank the yellow nectar instantly matured into flower Pikmin. It appears to have enhanced motor skills. What wondrous nectar. How intriguing. Like plants, Pikmin mature from leaf to bud to flower. Captain Olimar, you must share the information you have with your subordinate, Louis. So what will happen is the Pikmin will start plucking the grass, and any Pikmin that drinks the nectar will instantly mature into flower Pikmin. They will be a lot faster and do a lot more damage in battle. Now, I just wanted to show what the purple Pikmin in that scene where they get flowered for the first time. Because I feel like when most LPs do this, they just, it's the red Pikmin they see that get flowered for the first time. So I wanted to show that. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. Oh, right here we have some new enemies. These are sheer grubs, the white ones. The white ones are female, and they also will not harm your Pikmin. But I'm just going to take them out because I think that's what adds them to the Picklepedia. And I really gotta hurry up and do this stuff fast. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Olimar. I'll have Louie take a few reds, and I'll have Olimar take the purple. Excuse me. I'll have Olimar take the rest of the reds, and have them go over here. Oh, and these things right here. These creatures right here are. Let me brush the Pikmin on this first. These enemies right here are ravenous whisker pillars, and they're going to attempt to eat the berries that are on these plants. But we want to have the Pikmin take those berries because they will be helpful to us. So and now this thing that happened right here, this is a honey wisp, and as you saw, it has the ability to work. Oh, there, and I got interrupted. Astounding! This red berry contains an ultra-spicy essence. It does not appear to have any monetary value, but I shall research potential uses for it. Bring me another specimen. So just have the Pikmin carry back the berries to the ship. This right here, honey wisp, you can usually find it by rustling around in the flowers, and just hit it once, and it'll drop its egg, and you can get nectar. In Pikmin 1, you could only get 1 drop of nectar from the honey wisp, but in this game, you can usually get 1 or 2. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to Louie. Oh. Captain Olimar, my research on the red berries you discovered has yielded a powerful potion. Behold, the Ultra Spicy Spray. Although it is untested, I believe it will have spectacular results. Spray it on all your Pikmin by pressing down on the D-pad. When necessary, I can produce 1 bottle of spray from 10 berries. Press start/pause to contact me and confirm your berry count. L and look at L on the radar screen. So if I look at our items, we now have Ultra Spicy Spray right there. The ship can make 1 Ultra Spicy Spray with 10 red berries. Some people like to call it Red Potion. I'm just going to call it the Spicy Spray. And so yeah, basically the Ultra Spicy Spray is really good. It basically makes your Pikmin beyond flowers for a short time. They are super fast, they do a ton of damage, and they are just all around really good. Now, I didn't get to demonstrate on the purple Pikmin's power very much, so let's try it here on these dwarf Bulbors. Well, we saw it for the most part, but how about we try it on a big boy like this thing? Let's throw the Pikmin on. This is bomb! Yeah! Did not stand a chance. And honestly, this game is a lot harder than the first game. So it's good that I think it's a good thing that they added something that does a ton of damage in battle. Right there, we got a Strezor. I almost said strawberry and treasure in one, but we got a treasure right there. It's a nice little strawberry. And the reason I'm not going to carry the berries back is because I just wanted to add that to your inventory. Once you get a 10 berries back, that adds the spicy spray to your inventory. And I'll explain a bit more in depth later on. A strawberry is worth double a year's salary on Hokate. Sunseed berry. There we go. And we got 10% of the debt recovered. That's great. And I don't know if you noticed, but listen to Louie's whistle. His whistle, I like how his whistle sounds different from Olimar's. It sounds kind of like a train whistle almost. Now, Ravenous Whisker Pillar is kind of creepy. When the Pikmin is carrying it, it still squirms even though it's dead. Okay. This enemy right here is... It looks like a fate, looks like eyes, but it's actually a cloaking burrownet. What it's gonna do is stick its tongue out your Pikmin to eat it, but if you can kill it before it does that, you won't have to worry about it. These plants, I believe, are called Margarets. And we also have another enemy coming up close. What, you don't see it? Well, how about you look a little closer? This is a creeping chrysanthemum. Basically, I think it has a lot of health, but it disguises itself as a Margaret, so you'll walk by it thinking it's just a normal plant, and then it'll strike. And there is a way to tell a creeping chrysanthemum from a Margaret, and I'll show it next time we encounter one. Right here we have another paper bag, so let's throw our purples onto it. It requires 200 Pikmin to weigh it down. We do not have enough purples to be able to weigh this down. So, the only thing we can do is, can't go that way because we've got some noxious gas right there. We go over here. We have an entrance to a hole. Biological sensors are reacting violently. The readings are ominous. A beast of unknown power lurks in these depths. A large Pikmin group would be reassuring. My sound sensors are picking up hostile roars of many beasts. Expect dangerous encounters. Sensors are also showing extreme heat pockets. You may need flame-resistant Pikmin. But my records indicate no such data. Are my records incomplete? Well, you kept saying that Olimar was doing kind of a bad job about explaining exactly how the different types of Pikmin work. And yeah, we have fire hazards in this, and red Pikmin are resistant to fire. Well, impervious to fire. So, make sure you go in here with red Pikmin. I don't see why you would go anywhere without red Pikmin at this point in the game, but just make sure you do. Those circles at the top are hazard circles, and they let you know like what kinds of hazards are within the cave. Alright? Now then, let us enter the Hole of Beasts. I could have done some stuff faster above ground, but I was a little bit disoriented because I was just trying to explain things. So I hope I'll have enough time left in the day to be able to get everything I can possibly do, to get everything done that I possibly can do. Hope that sounds good. Alright, here we are in the Hole of Beasts. Let's see, let's check around, let's check in these, areas here. Nothing. Okay, oop, share grub. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if we go through here, we have a purple sheer grub. These are the males, and these guys are actually aggressive. They will attempt to eat their Pikmin. However, in the first game, if a sheer grub got a Pikmin in its mouth, it was pretty much a guaranteed death because the sheer grub couldn't take damage until after it has already swallowed the Pikmin. So it's a good idea to throw out a Pikmin directly on top of it, but you still can swarm it. If you have like a really large group of Pikmin, you can swarm it and you'll usually be fine. Here is the treasure for this floor. Check it out. Does this look a little bit familiar to you? This is a D-pad of an NES controller. So I will go ahead and show a picture of that on screen. A picture that I took from my own NES controller next to my own NES with my own reproduction copy of Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom. Here you go. Is a D-pad for the controller for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and it's called the Stone of Glory, even though I think it's actually made of plastic. And that was the only treasure on this floor. And if you think in the Japanese version that that the Stone of Glory is actually a red Famicom D-pad, Famicom controller D-pad, believe it or not, it's not. It's the same in the Japanese version. Okay, so let's see. Here's the entrance to the next floor. Let's delve deeper with our Pikmin. And you can skip this with the A button as well. Also, I like the name of these mushrooms right here. They're called glow caps, which I thought was pretty funny. So if we look around just a little bit, we should find... Oh yes, check it out. We got more violet candy pop buds. Now, do you remember how I said when you throw a Pikmin into a candy pop bud, it'll automatically revert to its leaf stage? So you want to, when you get your reds out, you want to make sure you throw your leaf Pikmin into the candy buds, so your flowers don't get, well, downgraded. Okay. And there we go. Still had some leaves. We probably were going to throw flowers in there, inevitably, because yeah, we probably were going to throw flowers in there inevitably because we're almost out of... Well, we're out of leaves now. So, in reality, all we really needed was just 20 purple Pikmin to get past that paper bag. So, now you might be looking around... Oh, actually, wait, hold on. Yeah, this right here, we have an egg. It looks kind of similar to the honey wisp eggs. Make sure you're holding A so you don't use your sprays when switching through the life stages. We break this open. Check it out, nectar. Yeah, you can get nectar from the eggs as well. They're kind of like yolks on eggs if you want to look at it like that. Now, when you find nectar, you want to make sure you get as many. You want to make sure you get as many Pikmin on it as you can, because one Pikmin can eat up an entire droplet of nectar, so you want to be wary about that. Now, you might have been wandering around looking for the treasure. There actually is no treasure on this floor, as you can tell by the sidebar right here. Yeah, there isn't actually no treasure on this floor. So, just get the purples and go on in. But you are required to get these purples, otherwise you can't get past that paper bag. Pool of Beasts, sub-level 3. And check it out, we have fire hazards. The fire geysers, you could not attack these in Pikmin 1, but in this game, you can throw your red Pikmin at it, they will not be hurt by the fire, and they can take out the fire geysers to make them cease function. And honestly, the thing that might be the thing to do, we're probably just to leave your purples here, and just take the reds and have them go and have them get the treasures, so you don't have to worry about them. You know, getting burned, but you also don't have to worry about the You don't have to worry about taking out the fire geysers at all. Jeez, I can't talk. So we have a piece. Well, it looks like a domino almost, but I believe this is a mahjong piece. I'm actually looking up the treasures on Wikipedia as we speak, so I guess I'll learn what it actually is in just a moment. Strife Monolith. No, it does not have anything to do with Final Fantasy or Space Odyssey or whatever. I don't really know exactly what mahjong is like. I do know it was like a PC game in like the 90s. I also know that it was released on, but I do know that it was actually released on the Famicom, which, believe it or not, I actually have a cartridge of, although I haven't actually played it. so I wouldn't really know what to think of it. I haven't used my Famicom in a long time, actually. I've only got like 4 games for it. So yeah, there's that. And right here, this right here might honestly look a little more familiar to you. This is actually a floppy disk for a Famicom. This is actually a floppy disk for a Famicom attachment known as the Famicom Disk System. The Famicom Disk System was an attachment for the Famicom, as I just said, and basically, these things were amazing. They had Famicom games written onto them by default. I think the Famicom Disk System had more power to it, but the thing about them is that if, like, they had the games written on them by default, I don't know what game is written on this, I'll probably say it in post-commentary. Basically, if you were sure that you were done playing the game that was already written on this floppy disk, like, say maybe you had like the Legend of Zelda on it, you could actually take this floppy disk to a vending machine, and you could actually erase the game on the floppy disk and get an entirely different game on it. Like, say you could erase Zelda 1 on it, and then you could get Metroid 1 on it. And only paying a fraction of what it would cost to buy the game on the cartridge. So, yeah. Famicom Disk System pretty much paid for itself in a way. And of course, Japan had this, we never had anything like it. Now then, back to Pikmin 2. And actually, the game written onto that floppy disk was The Mysterious Mersamane. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. The Mysterious Mersamane Castle, a game I've never played before, but I'd like to try it. Now then, something I'd like to make note of is that you notice I don't actually have my Pikmin with me. Your Pikmin will get left behind if they are not on in your squad if you enter the cave from the surface. But if you are already in the cave and you go to the next floor, you don't actually need to have your Pikmin with me. They'll just run on over, past any hazards that might be there. Hole of Beasts, sub-level 4. Now, let's see. We have another egg over here. And if I'm not mistaken, well, there's a possibility of having something. No, just nectar. I don't think we need it though. Let's be careful. Let's take out these. Whoa. Okay. The purple got burned. If a Pikmin that is not immune to fire gets burned, you can save him with your whistle. I don't know what kind of magical rainbow whistle we have, but that is something you can do. Okay, just more nectar. Now, there's something I'd like to point out. As you're going through this dungeon, if you might notice that that the way the dungeon looks on your game might look a little bit different than mine. That is because the caves in Pikmin 2 are actually semi-randomly generated. So there's like different layouts that you could possibly have. Oh, these are the things I was talking about. These are the things that can possibly be in the eggs. If you toss your purples at them, you can get a ton of nectar from them. Anyways, yeah, your dungeon layout may be different than mine because the caves are actually, I think they're technically caves, but I just have like a habit of calling them dungeons. The caves are actually semi-randomly generated, and the things might be in different places, like that Bulbor might be over here, for instance. Now these enemies right here, these are called Mittites. They cannot harm your Pikmin, however they do cause your Pikmin to run like hell, and I don't really know why. These things have a really interesting Picklepedia entry, and I can't wait to read it. So, yeah. Okay. So, let's go ahead and take out this fire geyser. I don't think people will get close enough to the Bulbor to wake it up. And then we will have the purples take out the Bulbor. The purples may take a little bit of time to get to the front of your group, and then you might accidentally throw one purple and then start throwing reds. Just so you know. There you go. We beat the Bulbor. Now, does this thing look a little bit familiar to you? Yeah, this is a Game & Watch. The very first Game & Watch released in 1980, Game & Watch Ball, which was also the first appearance of everybody's favorite flat animated character, Mr. Game & Watch. Ooh, we got a purple flower here. And this right here is a playing card. I'll get into that in a second. So yeah, we have Game & Watch Ball here. If you haven't guessed by now, the theme of this dungeon is Nintendo history. The Dream Architect. I've always wanted to own a Game & Watch, but never did. We have a purple cane buffa, so I'll go ahead and throw a fire Pikmin in it. So that playing card right here, that is the Ace of Spades. That is also a part of Nintendo history. Believe it or not, Nintendo has actually been around since 1889. Yeah, they've been around for 134 years now. Luck wafer. Basically, and yeah, before Nintendo was a video game company, before video games were invented, which I am the one who believes that Pong was the first game that was invented in 1972. Nintendo actually made playing cards, and they made this game called Hanafuda. I don't really know much about it, but I do know that Nintendo. That's how Nintendo made their money back in the 1800s, and they were really famous for those cards. And I heard that at some point back when Club Nintendo was a thing, they actually released Mario-themed Hanafuda cards. So yeah, that's real cool. If I'm wrong about that, I'm probably just gonna cut this footage out so I don't give out misinformation. So yeah, pretty cool. Like, even if you go to the Nintendo store in New York City, you'll actually see a little emblem on the floor that says Nintendo, established 1889. That's really cool. All right, here we go. Down sub-level 5. Did you hear that? I swear I heard some kind of, like, loud growl, and we have a fossil or something here, or something like that. It's like maybe some kind of bug, some kind of bulborb that looks like it was crushed to death by something really huge. It's gotta be like a regular bulborb. Then again, we've got the legs are on the front, so like, I don't think this is a bulborb, but it's got the shape for a flat one, and it's got like the eye stalks. I'm not really sure. Now then, here's what I'm gonna do now. I'm going to take my purples and check this out. This thing, it is not a giant worm. It is actually an obese bulborb. Yes. This is Empress Bulblax, who is a lovely counterpart to Emperor Bulblax, who was the final boss of Pikmin 1. It's actually got its legs on its front, so maybe this wasn't actually something crushed. Maybe this was Empress Bulblax when it was younger, and it made like a... Well, I don't know, actually. I'm more inclined to believe that this was something that was crushed. Anyways, what... Hey, don't go back to sleep on me. I didn't even know it could go back to sleep. Okay. So when it does that animation right there, you want to make sure that you are not in its range. Otherwise, it's going to crush you and your Pikmin. And if you don't call your Pikmin back, they are going to chase after her, and she is going to crush them. So what you want to do is you just want to get up real close and personal with her. Just start throwing your Pikmin on it, and when she stops doing that, animation, call your Pikmin back as quick as you can and run back. There you go. And you can see there's little splatters down there, which are things that other things that she has presumably crushed. So, just keep throwing, and we should do it in this cycle. Yeah, I hope that just shows you how overpowered purples really are. So yeah. How bizarre! This device is emitting a black light. It must have been ingested by that creature. What an absolute repulsive life form. Our return to Hokate cannot come soon enough. Okay. So, the bosses in this game are generally worth, like, 15 Poco, so I guess maybe they'd be worth salvaging just for that little bit amount. Like, let's see how much she's worth. Yeah, 15 Pocos. I'll probably, salvage the bosses, I'll probably salvage the bosses when we get them. So, right here, we have this thing that is called the Love Tester. The Love Tester, like, we saw the Game & Watch earlier, which was made in 1980, and I believe in 1977, or sometime in the late 70s, Nintendo released, like, their version of Pong. But this was actually really the very first electronic device made by Nintendo, made in 1969. Prototype detector. This contraption seems to react to when it approaches treasure. I will connect it to my radar. Processing complete. The treasure gauge is now fully operational. It will now appear on your monitor. The needle will move right as you approach treasure. And how anticlimactic. He gives the treasure gauge, and it doesn't even work when we get it. The prototype detector cannot work because it cannot detect itself. I really wish that they put like a second treasure on this floor, like maybe beyond the boss, so that it actually got a little bit of use like directly after you got it. But anyways, the Love Tester, it was really just like a gimmicky toy that was made just, you know, to test your compatibility. I don't think it really actually translated to anything, but it was very popular. And reading this directly off of Wikipedia, it was advertised heavily on Japanese television and originally sold for 1,800 yen. Oh, right, I forgot. I forgot that's like $18 in US. Jeez. I always forget that they don't use a decimal symbol in Japan, which I guess is a good thing. So yeah, it basically just sold for $18 in Japan. If you want to try the Love Tester, it is actually featured as a doodad in WarioWare Twisted for the Game Boy Advance, and it was also featured in WarioWare Gold as a collectible that can also be upgraded to a version called the Love Tester 2.0. Though I wouldn't know anything about this because I have never played a WarioWare game in my life. I really should. Especially how much I love Mona and 5-Volt. Okay, so, if the guys are here, let us escape to the surface with our Pikmin. Made a pretty good haul. And still no Pikmin loss. That's great. Well, let's see how long our streak can go up for. I know usually when my streak of not losing any Pikmin ends, so I think I know when that'll be. But with that, guys, I think that's actually going to be the end of this video. Because we have some more stuff that I want to do in the Awakening Wood, and I feel like it would make more sense to start the video with us landing back in the Awakening Wood. So yeah. Next time on Pikmin 2, we're going to see what is beyond that paper bag that require 200 Pikmin to squeeze the air out. See you guys then. Goodbye.